Yeah, okay.
Hello there. Once again, we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but it doesn't stop us from doing our live interview. Today, I'm very happy to say I've got Sanjeev Kumar with me, and we are going to be discussing fear less, love more when it comes to our well-being, mental health, and more. So let's give Sanjeev a very warm welcome. Hi, Sanjeev.
How are you? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Excellent. Good to hear.
What
So
about you? How are you?
I'm actually feeling pretty good a little bit. I was a little bit frustrated when we couldn't get it going, but life throws curveballs and it's how we react to certain situations, right? So I'm laughing with it and
Right.
just being. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about where you come from and a little bit of who you are and what you think your purpose is, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Basically, I was born in India, but I came to Canada a long time ago, and I'm a mindfulness practitioner and author of a book, Practicing the Power of Present Moment. And my whole purpose and mission of my life is to learn, grow, evolve to the infinite possibilities, and especially we can help to the people who are suffering from mental illness. That
Mhm.
is our mission. Yeah.
Awesome. And that's my mission too. So that's you know what? There's such a misunderstanding and um, stigma causes so much ignorance around mental health, and we all deal with pain and suffering in our own ways, whether it's losing a loved one, whether it's dealing with a financial stress, whatever it is, and it can cause mental health issues. Then we've also got, the people that actually do have the real illnesses and they've been stigmatized. So they think there's something wrong with them. They believe that something's wrong with them. Whereas if they just knew that they perceive things differently than most people, and it's okay to see things differently, we don't, right?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can understand. What you are saying. You are
Mm-hmm.
totally right. Like there are two things with mental illness, as you shared. Like lots of the people are struggling with the finances, with the relationship. And
Mm-hmm.
they're getting into the thought of the past in the form of anger, depression, and therefore they are attracting mental illness. And
Mm-hmm.
another part, like some who got born with disabilities, and
Mm-hmm.
they think like it is a mental illness. But it depends on us how we look at the things. I can look at with positive mental attitude, and I can say like there is no mental illness, but it is a gift what we have.
Yes.
So that's what I think in my way.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think Sanjeev, like once we come to a place in our being that we realize, okay, we accept our illness, we embrace it like it's our best friend or our loved one, and our the shift in our thoughts, the change to our thought pattern, you you become almost a different person with your reality because it's no longer, oh, I'm sick, or I'm, like it's not those negative worry about, am I going to die in the future, or what does my future look like, or worry, anxiety, and fear. It's all negative energy based. And I think if we start to look at our illness as it is a pain and a suffering, but come from a place of overcoming that pain and suffering, being with it, and trying to reverse our psychology or trick our brain into thinking that it's making us strong like warriors, and growing from it instead of taking the negative aspects of it.
Yeah,
you know
yes, and you are totally right.
mm-hmm.
Basically, when we accept everything, we move beyond pain, beyond suffering.
Mm-hmm.
People are struggling, they are fighting with their thoughts, and all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of the useless and unwanted thoughts. Therefore, they are attracting negativity, darkness, suffering. As,
Mm-hmm.
as soon as we accept each and every moment, whether it is a moment of pain, suffering, happiness, we can
Yeah,
go
that's
so
right.
this is the first thing. And second thing, like there is nothing called as a mental illness, like even if you are born with the disabilities,
Yeah.
whatever we have, we have to accept it with deep gratitude, you know
Yes.
with forgiveness, with love, then
Mm-hmm.
what will happen, we don't feel like I am having any kind of the mental illness, and I could be much more powerful than the normal people, because every person has tremendous power within themselves, but they are not aware of it, and that's
Yes.
what they are not able to discover who they really are. So when we accept every moment, whether it is a pain or happiness, disabilities or non disabilities, it doesn't matter. When we accept it, we move beyond it, and then we cannot think like we are disabled, we are some mental illness, we are some mental disease, because we have moved beyond, and then we can be more powerful than anybody else, because at that point of time we are able to discover who we really are, what is the purpose of life, how can we learn, grow, evolve to the infinite possibilities, how how we can move forward into our life, because universe is full of abundance, possibilities, endless opportunities, endless of
Mm-hmm.
resources, but we are not getting connected with it. Why? Because we think we are not capable of it. We think like we are not worthy. We think we are not we are not happy, we are not moving inside, so that's what the problem comes with the people.
Yeah, yeah. You're like, that's exactly how I think. We are born beautiful and perfect just the way we are. And we're born to be alive. And somewhere along the way, during our, development and growing up, people with addictions, homelessness, suicides, they believe that they're not good enough, they're unworthy, and they're unlovable. And it's like you say, Sanjeev, it's because of stigma, right? It's the
Right.
belief of mental illness. Let's get rid of mental illness, and like, let's put a positive instead of disabled, disorder, disease, right? Like,
Right.
the thinking, that all of the thoughts and the words have to change in order for people that have been suffering to realize, what, I'm okay. It's okay not to be okay, or it's okay to perceive the world differently, and use different sensory abilities, right? Like, we all have our power within, like you say, and it's time that we realize it's so simple. We just love ourselves, take care of ourselves, and share the love, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
because everything comes from the love, especially the self love. And
Yeah.
the more we love ourselves, the more we are able to understand who we really are, People
Yeah.
say, I love you, but how could you love somebody else without loving yourself? So first we
Exactly.
have to move inside. We have to discover like who we really are, So as soon as we are able to discover who we really are, the more we are able to love ourselves. and then there is no fear, then there is no anger, then there is no negative emotion, and
That's
it doesn't
right.
matter whether we have mental disease, mental stigma, this and that, it will disappear, it will, it will vanish. So that's
Yeah.
what I think.
Yeah. Well, and you take cancer as a good example. Cancer is a terminal, progressive, horrific, horrendous, heartbreaking illness.
Mhm.
And you do hear of miracles happening. And a lot of times, if you look at those miracles that happen, it's because whoever that person is that has been dealing with the cancer has had a complete mind shift of their whole entire being. And it all comes from positive energy and a place from the heart and love, as well as, treatment as well. But I do think that if you're a fighter and you're fighting for love and you try and not let any of that negative energy waste space in your sacred mind and only allow programming of positive thoughts, positive energy. So if you have a terminal illness, like myself, I have a genetic disorder that affects the brain. I tell myself every day, I'm healthy, I'm strong. Like I trick my brain and I do positive affirmations. And I do think it's helping. And this group is definitely helping me. But I do think my thoughts are making me feel healthier, making me feel more alive, making me feel like there's hope. Like I'm not worrying, I'm not anxious, I'm not thinking I'm going to die anymore. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you, you know you are totally right. Everything is energy,
Hmm.
frequency. So when we are having a affirmation like, I don't have any mental illness, I am worthy, I am happy, I am a creator, I can be more powerful than anybody else. So whatever you think within, it goes to the universe and brings similar thing into our life, because like attract like, as you said. Like, even you, if you have some problems, but what you are doing every day, you have positive energy, you are emitting the positive energy, energy of love, forgiveness, kindness, hope,
Yes.
so what is happening, it is going into the universe and it is bringing similar thing into our life in the form of affirmation, so that's
Hmm.
what, it doesn't matter whether we have any kinds of the problem, it doesn't matter at all, but still we should have those kind of the affirmation every day within, and you are getting pulled towards it. As I said, everything is energy, and like attract like. If you emit a thought frequency of negative, definitely you are going to pull towards it. But what you are doing at this moment, you are emitting a thought frequency of positive love, forgiveness. So definitely, even if you have some mental illness, but it doesn't matter, you are getting more pulled towards positivity, love, compassion, and it will raise your energy, it will raise your frequency, it will raise your vibration, and you can be more powerful than anybody else, and you can live your life to the fullest potential. That's what it works.
I know. It's funny because I don't know. I get messages and I listen. Like I'm open to learning. I love learning from other people, and this is one of the things I love about my group is now I get to connect with you, right? And I
Yeah, yeah,
just get so much more love
yeah.
and information into my mind, into my being, and it's so yeah, it's just it's so cool. Yeah, so it's awesome.
Yeah.
But you're right. I do think our thoughts create our reality. So if we're broke
Mm.
and we say, oh my God, I have no money, I'm so broke, or you're going to create that for yourself, right? Whereas
Right.
if you shift that thought and say, I am going to have abundance in all areas of my life, then you're going to create that with your thoughts because your
Right.
thoughts are
Yeah.
reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought create reality. As you said, if we attract the thought of scarcity, thought of poverty, what
Yeah.
will happen? You are going to attract similar situation into your life, because you are putting your attention, energy on the lackness, on the scarcity, and therefore you are getting connected with those kind of the people, those situation of the people, and you will
That's right.
attract similar things into your life. In the same way, if you create a thought of abundance, thought of prosperity, thought of wealth, what will happen? Universe conspire in the way what we think. So universe conspire us to be connect with the people who talks at the level of richness, who talks at the level of prosperity, who talks at the level of abundance. And that's what it works, because everything is energy and frequencies, and that's the way it brings everything into our life.
That's right. Do you know, I have to share this with you, Sanjeev, because it actually really made me think today. And I've got a few individuals on my group that have autism. Well, my son has autism as well. And
Okay.
I know from the learning center that we created that all autism symptoms are unique to each individual. So
Exactly.
with our son, we taught him tools to use eye contact for connecting with us.
Right.
So to me, eye contact is very important for effective communication,
Right.
especially with Kevin.
Right.
So I did up kind of like a video with, I don't know if you saw it, but it's all to do with eye contact and how important it is, and just inspirational quotes. But
Okay.
I did get some interesting feedback, which I took as a positive criticism for me, because a lot of people with autism do not like eye contact, and it makes them feel uncomfortable, and it makes them feel anxious. So what what I want to say here too with Fear Less and Love More is it is so important for us to meet the other person where they're at and not assume that we understand how they perceive the world, because you and I may see completely differently, but as long as we come from a place of the heart and we connect, that's what matters. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
Yes, matter, because as I
yeah.
said, as soon as we raise our frequency, our vibration, what happens? The people who are at the lower level, they are getting separated, and we are getting connected with the high frequency, and that's what how it works, how the universe works. In the same way, suppose if you want to attract the people who are at the lower frequency, you have to quit the people who are at the higher frequency. But our whole learning purpose is to move forward, is to learn and connect with the resources, and that's
Hmm.
and in this way we can raise our frequency, and that's what it.
And and I honestly think with my group, that's exactly like I am one of my purposes is not just for me to heal myself, but to help others, to lift them up, to let them rise, to let them shine, and we all lift up together, and we all are happy and loved, and we know that we matter, and we know that our life is what we make. If we're going to be miserable, then my group's not for you. My group's about hope and love and peace and joy and
Yeah.
happiness, and yeah, so it's really cool.
Yeah, because we are interconnected at the deeper level, so
Yeah,
therefore we are connecting with hope, love, forgiveness,
yeah,
kindness, and when
yeah,
we connect with similar kind of the people, automatically it will raise the frequency, and that's what how it works. Mhm.
yeah. And the other thing that I wanted to focus on is, even with illness, like, I mean, there's with the chronic illnesses, the terminal illnesses, we all know that one day we are going to die. It's part of life, and
Yeah.
letting go is one of the hardest things for us to accept and to move forward from. But what I what I want to share is, if and when my time does come and I do get my wings, and I'm hoping that I do live to 100 years old, but if it does happen, at least I know that I love myself wholeheartedly,
Mhm.
and I will be surrounded by love from the universe as well. So no regrets. And I think that's really important to share with others, especially if they're battling um, a terminal illness, and they're on their way onto their next journey. And I think it's important to know that, you know, with your loved ones, surrounded by your loved ones, and have no regrets, right?
Right.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
as long as we have life, as you're talking about the terminal illness,
yeah,
so we have to celebrate each and every moment.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Suppose
yeah,
even if I'm going to die tomorrow, so I should not stuck with the thought of the past and the future. But
mm,
as long as I live till tomorrow, I have to celebrate each and every moment of our life. The
that's
more we
right.
celebrate, the more we are connected with the loving one, whosoever connected with us. So that's what I.
That's right. Yeah. Fearless, right?
Yeah, yeah, fearless. Yeah, that's what
Don't worry.
fearless. So we have
Yeah,
to overcome the death also. And
yeah,
the right meaning of overcoming death, we have to be fearless, and we have to love more as long as we live. Because when we love ourselves more, what will happen? There is no death also. Although there is a death of physical body, which is okay, but we are witnessing it. Even if I'm leaving my body, I'm going to witness my body as well, when I'm at the deathbed. So when we witness it, when we observe it, with deep observation, what will happen? We are moving beyond that. And that's what I think.
that's right. It's so true. Yeah, yeah. And I think the one thing that holds a lot of us back is fear of the unknown, the anxiety, and the worry, right? And the power, living in the power of now is so important. Being present, right? Just being.
Yes.
And
Because
how we react to situations is
yes,
really important.
yes. Because
Yeah,
people are living in the thought of past, in the form of uh, anxiety, in the form of worry, and they are
yeah,
missing beautiful moment. So
yeah.
they are they are conflicting within themselves, they are struggling within themselves, and
Mm,
that's what they attract the depression, all kinds, most of the psychiatric disorder, because they are missing this beautiful moment, and therefore the fear come.
yeah,
Basically fear happens when we connect with too many useless and unwanted thoughts, right? And where the meditation comes, the meditation help us to create powerful, wonderful, and beautiful thoughts. But the more
mhm.
we live into the thought of the past and the fear and the past and the future, the more we attract the fear. Why? Because we are just missing this beautiful moment, and we are
That's
not
right.
able to love ourselves. And these are the things.
So true. Yeah, yeah. It is. It's a vicious cycle when we allow it to be. Because I mean, everyone says, "Oh my God!" Like I talk to myself. I'm always like I have been in my head a lot, and I have done a lot of research with my genetic disorder, looking for answers. And now I do nothing, absolutely nothing, other than this group and keep my thoughts positive and everything like that. But where I was going is, when we have those negative racing thoughts of worry and anxiety and fear, and it's self-doubt, and it's constantly there, and we're trying to you know be connected to the outside world, it's almost impossible to even listen to people to understand, because there's so much going on inside, right? Do you
Right.
know what I mean when I say that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like you're not present. I'm not, my head's in the clouds somewhere and I'm off in La La Land. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, whereas when you are mindful and um, you're aware that you're in the now and you just be, it makes such a huge difference, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because when we are living in the now, what is happening? We are just celebrating this beautiful moment.
Yes.
We are
Yeah,
not moving into the thought of the past and the future. Just for example, the way we are doing Facebook Live, the way you are present here physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, the way I am also present here, we are just celebrating this beautiful moment. But
yeah,
just when we keep on thinking about the past or about the future into this moment, then we cannot celebrate this beautiful moment. Why? Because we are getting stuck into the thought of worry, anxiety, into the
yeah,
thought of goal, ambition, dream. So that doesn't make sense. And only this moment exists because this is the divine moment. There is no moment beyond it. So why can't we celebrate this beautiful moment in order
yeah.
to move beyond pain, beyond suffering? And that is the purpose of life as well.
Love that. Yeah. You think just like me, Sanjeev. Just be in the beautiful divine moment.
Yeah.
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 Kevin, you can come say hi. Kevin wants to say hi to you. Hello.
Hello, how
This
are
is
you?
Kevin, my son.
Okay, hi Kevin. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Yeah.
I got a computer now.
There he is.
I got a computer now.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Okay,
I'm
bud.
gonna go get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah. So is there anything else that you wanted to discuss um before I end this? Because I think we're
Everything
almost,
is good. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything you want to share before we end this? Like, is there
Yeah,
any
if you want.
workshops that you have coming up or anything that you want to share?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I'm doing workshop in Calgary, and next workshop in Vancouver also in next month. And uh, because I have been doing a workshop, like 3 to 4 workshop in a month. And if they want to visit my website in order to contact me, they can visit my website www.santeaching.com,
Okay.
www.santeaching.com. Thanks.
Okay. Okay. And what we'll do, Sanjeev, is once I download the video, I'll put your pre-schedule notice with it.
Okay.
And the information, I believe I've got your website and book on that. So we'll put that with the video and then I'll send it to you and you can share it out to your world
Okay.
and I'll share it to my world as well.
Okay. Thanks. Nice to
Okay?
meet you.
It's been a pleasure talking to you. It's like we're connected totally. We're at the higher vibration, me and you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll
Sounds
talk
good.
to you soon. Take care. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Are you